Let's start. So today we are going to discuss about another sorting technique. We have already covered bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort, then quick sort, one of the divide and conquer algorithm we have used in quick sort. Now another divide and conquer algorithm based sort is the smart sort. Okay, so smart sort. Now merge sort also having its own importance. How? So first discussed how this merge sort will actually perform. It is one kind of divide and conquer mechanism, and you can say purely divide and conquer, because in case of quick sort there is some probability that if you select your pivot element as the max or mean element, then it will not be able to divide the array in uh, to equal subarrays. But in case of merge sort, it is purely divide and conquer mechanism. It means uh, suppose this is my original array, then in first iteration this array will be divided into two parts. There is no such pivot selection, purely divided into two parts based on the size. If the size is n number of elements, then we will select the middle position of the array, then we will divide it into two parts, and it will further divide it into parts. Again these subparts will be divided into another subparts. It means you have to perform the division operation. This part is the division operation again and again until this subparts become single element. So when it becomes single element, then what we have to do, you have to perform merging operation like this. Then it will create a merge array like this. Then this two will be again merged to get the final sorted array. So this is your unsorted array, okay, and this is your final sorted array, okay. This part is purely called merging, okay, and this part is purely called division. So up to this you have to perform the division operation. Then when it becomes single element, then you have to perform the merging operation. So this is called merge sort. Now how to divide? It is again, the division is very simple. If there is n number of elements, I will purely divide it into two parts by calculating the middle position. One part will be from 0 to mid, and another part will be mid plus 1 to the highest index value, say n minus 1, and it will go on and on until it becomes single element. How we can say that it is single element? See, if there is two elements, then what is the lowest index value? The lowest index value is 0. If then highest index value is 1. So it means the relation between L and H is like this. If there is more than one element, if there is only one element, then both lowest index value and highest index value are equal. So when L equal to H, you can say that this is single element, only one element. If L is less than H, then you can say that number of elements is more than one. Okay, if it is satisfying this one, then you have to divide. If it is satisfying this one, you have to stop. From this, after this, when L equal to H, lowest index value is equal to highest index value, you have to perform the merging. So these are the merge operation. These are the merge operation. One merge, another merge, then another merge, and you can say this is level wise. First, this one is the first level, then this is the second level. So level wise, you have to perform the merging. So this is the merge sort technique. Now What is the importance? Why we have already seen one algorithm based on divide and conquer mechanism. Why we are going for another divide and conquer mechanism? Now this is very interesting. The application, the usefulness of this smart shot. Try to understand. Now see, suppose this is your RAM. Suppose this is your RAM, and suppose let us assume the RAM size is, suppose means this RAM can hold at a time, suppose 10 elements. We are assuming that this is our RAM, and this RAM can store at a time 10 elements. Now suppose I have say 11 elements. I have how many elements? I have 11 elements. Now I have to sort them. Now whatever sorting I am performing, ultimately I am performing the sorting in our RAM. When I am running the code, it means uh, I am using the RAM. I am using the RAM memory which is allocated for C programming. So if there is 11 elements, suppose our RAM can hold up to 10 elements, but I have 11 elements and I have to perform a sorting technique. Now see, if I go for bubble sort, then we already know that in case of bubble sort, we need the whole array, correct? Brute force algorithm, we need the whole array. In case of selection sort, again, we need the whole array. Now in case of insertion sort, if it is insertion sort, then do we need the whole array? See, up to 10 elements, I can perform it in this RAM. Whenever the 11th element will come, I have to put the 11th element in its proper position for this insertion sort, and whenever I am going to put the 11th element in its proper position, then I have to shift the other elements. It means one element will be lost due to the limitation of RAM size. Okay, so bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort, even the quick sort, if I want to perform quick sort, if you remember the last day's quick sort, then we required the whole elements, or we required all the elements. If there is 11 elements, we required 11 elements at a time. So it means for all these algorithms, we need all the 11 elements at a time. Without having all the elements, it is not possible to perform the sorting. But by limitation of RAM size is it can only accommodate 10 elements. So there comes the advantage of merge sort. So what we will do in case of merge sort? In case of merge sort, see, the operation is very simple. I have already shown you that there is two arrays like this. There is two arrays. So if I store these elements, if I store these two arrays in my hard disk, I am storing this array in my hard disk, and then I am copying one element from the hard disk, taking it into RAM, then comparing with another element, and then I am putting it again another array which is in our hard disk. So in case of merge sort, we require two sub-arrays which will be merged. So these are the two sub-arrays. One is A, another is B, and after merging these two, we will get C. All these three arrays are in hard disk. So how we are using the RAM? We are just taking one element from the hard disk, comparing it with the another element in hard disk in B array, then according to its element size, I will put it in the array C, which is again in the hard disk. So no limitation of RAM will hampered in this merge sort. In case of other sorting, we require the whole array. For bubble sort, if I have one element, I have to compare it with all the elements. It is a brute force algorithm. This is again brute force algorithm. We need to compare to select the maximum or minimum. In case of selection sort, we have to compare it with the all the elements. So all the elements must be in our RAM. In case of insertion sort, the 11th element in this particular example, from the 11th element, we have to perform the comparison, which must be done in our RAM, which is not possible due to the limitation of the RAM size. But in case of merge sort, load, if our RAM is able to store only two elements, then also we can perform the merge sort technique. Okay, so this is the advantage of merge sort, and due to this advantages, merge sort is called external sorting. Why external sorting? Because here we are using some sort of external hard disk or external memory. This hard disk we are using in case of merge sort. But this sorting, bubble, selection, insertion, quick, those are called internal sorting. Means they require the RAM, internal memory, to perform the sorting. But in case of merge sort, we can use hard disk. That's why merge sort is called external sorting. Now I hope it is clear what is the meaning of external. We are using some external memory, that is hard disk. But in case of this sorting, bubble, selection, insertion, quick, we require the internal memory, that is RAM. Okay, so this is the advantage of merge sort. So why merge sort is very much important? Because if there is a limitation in our RAM size, even in that case, we can perform merge sort to sort two different arrays or merge two sub-arrays. Okay, so this is the main advantage. Now we are moving to the merge sort algorithm. I have already discussed the technique. It is purely, first it will purely divide the array, then when it becomes single element, then it will start merging. Okay, so let us write the algorithms one by one. So first thing is the division. So I am calling a division function void div. Okay, what are the arguments in this function? I have to pass the array itself, then I have to pass the size of the array. So to represent the size of the array, generally what we pass the lowest index value and the highest index value. From this two we can easily calculate the size, correct? So that's why we send L and H. Again, this L and H is very important to check whether I have to stop my division or I have to further proceed my division. So what is the condition of further division or further processing? The condition is if L is less than H. If more than one element, then we will perform the division operation. Okay, so in division operation, what we have to calculate first? We have to calculate the middle position of the array. So we have to calculate a mid variable, which is L plus H divided by 2, same as our binary search to check the middle element. Okay, then I will call the divide function two times, one for the left hand subarray, which will be from L to mid, and another division operation for the right hand subarray, which will be from lowest is mid plus 1 and highest is H. Okay, and after this two division, finally we have to call the merge function. We will merge these two sub arrays where I will pass the lowest index value, middle index value and highest index value. So this is the division function. Obviously we have to define the mid variable as integer variable. So this is my division function. Okay, So this is my division function. This is very simple. The division function is very simple because the purpose of the division function is to divide the array into sub-arrays. Almost equal size sub-arrays. You can easily understood that if there is odd number of elements, then obviously in one sub-array there will be one less, and in another sub-array there will be one more. If it is even number of elements, then it will be divided equally into two equal size sub-arrays. Okay, so if suppose there is from 0 to suppose 8, from 0 to 7, so 8 number of elements is 8. So what is the mid value? Mid value is actually L plus H by 2, and I will take the floor value. Okay, floor value means integer division. So from this we will get 0 plus 8, sorry, 0 plus 7 by 2. It means it is 3. Okay, so it is 3. So one sub array will be from 0, L is the lowest index value, L is the lowest index value, H is the highest index value. Okay, so one part will be from 0 to 3 means mid. So this is lowest index value, this is mid index value. So how many elements? See, sorry, so 2, see 4 elements. In another part, how many elements? From mid plus 1, see from mid plus 1, so it is from 4 up to the highest index value, that is H. So this is mid plus 1 to H. So 7, 5, sorry, again extra I have used. So 5, 6, 7. See how many elements? 8 even number of elements. The two subdivided arrays are of equal size, 4, 4. Okay, so this is, so again in this part again I will perform the same division operation. It will be divided into 2 and 2 elements. Again it will be divided into 1 and 1 element, correct? Then this two will be merged. So this is the actual merge sort. So I have to perform the division, and then I have to perform the merging. Okay, I will try run it. So now let us try to understand the merge function. That is very important. So first I will show how to perform the merge function. Suppose there is two array, two different sub arrays. So suppose this is A sub array, this is B sub array, 0 1 2 0 1 2. Let us assume the elements are 11, and we are assuming that these elements are already in sorted order. Okay, in the other sub array let us assume say 10, 15, 30. Okay, so there is another sub array, or you can say another array, where I will store the merge element. I will store the merge element. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 elements. Okay, so let us assume this is C. So what I will do, I will compare the first element of A with the first element of B, then the smallest one will be copied into C. So A of, say I am using one index variable for this I, another index variable for this J, another index variable for this K. So A of I will be compared with B of J, correct? If A of I is greater than B of J, then which one is smaller? B of J is smaller. This B of J will be copied into C. So I will write it like this: K equal to B of J. Okay, reverse maybe happened, means A of I is smaller than B of J. So there comes the else part, where I will copy. So ultimately which one will be copied? The smallest one among these two comparison. Among these two elements, the smallest one will be copied into C. So for this particular element, the first one So if I is 0, j is 0 and k is 0, so a of 0 is compared with b of 0, which one is smaller? So this part is satisfying. So what it will do, it will copy the element into c, so 10 will come here. After that, since this element already copied, so j will be increased, so j plus plus. So I have to perform the j plus plus here. Clear? Since one element is copied into C, obviously K will be increased, so K plus plus. Now next comparison. So next comparison will be done between 15 and 11. Which one is smaller? 11. So 11 will be copied. It means A of this part is satisfied, else part. So A of I is copied. So I will be increased automatically because it is already copied. So I plus plus, there I have to perform I plus plus. Another element is copied into C, so K plus plus. Okay, so K already into. Next, this element will be compared with this one. So this is 21, this is 15. So A of I is greater than B of J. So 15 will be copied here and J will be increased. Next, J in this position, 30, 21 compared. So A of I greater than B of J not satisfied. So this one will be satisfied. So 21 will be copied and I plus plus. I will move into this position. Now 33 and 30 will be compared. Which one is smaller? 30. So 30 will be copied and J will be increased. Okay, then only one element left, this will be copied into this position. So this is your sorted array. So this is your sorted array. So I hope it is clear how to perform the merging. So this is the way you have to perform the merging operation. Clear? Now try to convert it into some code, pseudocode or algorithm. So this merging algorithm is very important because the division operation is very simple. It is a recursive one, repeatedly you have to perform until single element. So it is very simple. Now the merging operation. So void merge. Okay. So what are the arguments? If you remember, the array itself, then the lowest index value, then the mid index value, then the highest index value. See the merge. This is the merge function. This is the merge function. Lowest index value, middle index value, and h, highest index value. Clear? Now, what we are doing, if this is one array, now in this case, A is itself divided into two parts. Na? If this is the A, then this A is itself divided into two parts based on the middle position. One part is from L to mid, another part is mid plus. So same array, one part will be compared with another part. Correct? So let us initialize some variables for representing index variables I, J, K. Correct? Then I have to compare this part with this part, all the elements of this part with all the elements of this part. Okay, so this I index variable will move up to mid and this J index value will move up to H. Correct? What is the starting value? The starting value of I is L. What is the end value of I? Mid. For J, what is the starting value? Starting value is mid plus 1 because this is the lowest index value and it will move up to H, highest index value. So first I will initialize the variables I equal to L, J equal to mid plus 1. Okay. Now I will compare the elements. So I will move up to mid. So I already initialized with L. So I less than equal to mid and j less than equal to h. Then I will compare the two elements. If a of I, now see the same array, this is the whole array A, which is now divided into two parts. So a of I will be compared with a of j. Instead of two different array A and B, we are comparing the same array. So a of I will be compared with a of j. Now if a of j, in this case, if a of j is smaller, then it will be copied into, say, C is another array where initialized with k plus plus. So a j plus plus, this one will be copied. Else, which one will be copied? C k plus plus, where a of I plus plus will be copied. Okay. Now this is the end of the while loop. So I have to initialize the k also. K will be initialized with L, lowest index variable. Done this part. Now it may happen, see one thing, it may happen when I am comparing two different subarrays. Suppose the elements of this one is 1, 2, 3 and this part is 4, 5, 6. Then what will happen? If I compare 1 with 4, first 1 will be copied into C. Correct? Then 2 is compared with 4, then 2 will be copied into C. Then 3 is compared with 4, then 3 will be copied into C. So nothing left in this array which will be compared with this. So what I have to do? All the rest elements I have to copy into this C. So that's why this while loop is only for if there is a if two subarrays are not completed its comparison. This while loop is for if these two subarrays are not completed its comparison. If one of the subarrays, if one of the subarray, either this or this, reach to the end, then this while loop will end. So after this, what I have to do? I have to copy all the elements which left either in this subarray or in this subarray. So what I will do? I will write it like this. If anything left in this part, first subarray, this is the first subarray, okay, then those things will be copied into C. Those things will be copied into C. Done. Same thing may happen in case of the second subarray. So I will check while j less than equal to h, the rest of the things from j subarray will be copied into C. Done. So now everything is stored in a third subarray. This is the third subarray, or you can say this is 1A and this is another auxiliary C, where I am storing the temporarily storing the arrays. But which array I have to sort? Actually, I have to sort this array A, because this array A is given. This one is given, so I have to sort this A. But to store the intermediate merging operation, we have used one auxiliary subarray or auxiliary array, that is C. So finally, we have to copy all these elements in C. All the elements are in sorted, so I have to copy all these elements into A. This is the last thing that I have to perform inside the merge operation. So after this two while operation, finally I have to perform a for loop operation which will copy all the elements from C to A. All the elements will be copied from C to A. So this is the end of your merge function. This is the end of your merge function. I have to take this auxiliary array, suppose say size 20. I also have to take this auxiliary array. So this is the merge operation where I am merging two parts of the array into a third auxiliary array C. Then after this merging, I am again copy the sorted array in the actual array. Okay, so this is our merging operation. So the merge sort is actually combination of this two part, the division part, this one, and the merge part. Okay, so now try to understand this one, this division, how this division is actually performing. So suppose there are 6 elements. Let us assume there are 6 elements. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. N is 6. Okay. So this is lowest index value. This is highest index value. So let us assume the elements are 5, 2, 11, 3, 9, say 1. Okay. So the first thing is if L less than H. So division. So first function is division, where what are the arguments? Array, lowest index value, highest index value. Inside the function, if L less than H, it will call the division function for what? For L to mid, another function which is from mid plus 1 to H, another function merge A, L, mid and H. Obviously you have to calculate the mid value here, L plus H by 2. So this is the division function, correct? So first division function, I am calling the first division function. What are the arguments? I am not writing this one, I am just writing this two. What are the arguments? L and H. What is the value of L? 0. What is the value of H? 5. Okay. So this will come inside this if. L, this is L, this is H. L is less than H, satisfying. So it will go for calculating the mid. What is the value of mid? The value of mid here is 2. 0 plus 5 by 2, it means 2. Correct? So now it will call another diff function. It will call another diff function. This diff function is for what? This diff function is for L and mid. So what are the arguments? L is 0. See, L is 0. What is the mid value? Mid value is 2. Okay. So now this diff function will active. So in this diff function, this is L, this is H. So it will calculate. Now this L is less than H, satisfying. So it will calculate the mid value. What is the mid value? 0 plus 2 by 2, that means 1. So mid value is 1. So what it will call? It will call, so you can number them. This is first div, this is second div, this is the third. These are the three functions inside the div function, correct? So this is the first. So this is original first. This is this div one. Okay. Now it called the first div, this one, and inside this div. So it is now come back to this div function, because it is calling the diff function, so it will come back to this diff function. Now it will call the first diff function from there. What is in the first diff function? L and mid. What is L here? L is 0. What is mid here? Mid is 1. Correct? Now what is the new value of L and H? Now L and H satisfying. L less than H, 0, 1. So it will again calculate mid. What is the mid value now? 0 plus 1 by 2 means 0. So it will call the first diff function. So this is the first diff function. It will call the first diff function, this one. So what is the first diff function here? L to mid. So 0 to 0. Now for this is L, this is H. This one is not satisfying. So it will go back to this position. Since it is not called, see, this if is not satisfying, it will go back to the previous function which is calling this function. So it will come back to this diff function. Now inside this diff function, first part is done. So it will go for this one. It will go for this one. Now it will call the second diff function. What is in the second diff function? In second diff function, it is mid plus 1 to H. Mid is 1. So mid plus 1 means 2 to H. Correct? Now for this diff function, this is L.